So, Southern folk medicine is the only kind of folk medicine, other than indigenous, obviously, which was here first, that was created or was born in the southern United States. So we have a southern folk medicine, we have a southern Appalachian folk medicine, but we don't have a western folk medicine, not really. We don't have a northeastern folk medicine, not with a long history. So if you're not familiar with the settlement of this country, the South was settled from the Gulf up, from the bottom up, because, that's where Cristo Colombo came in at, right? Is the South. And and so by the time the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth Rock, the South had been explored, partially, settled, little settlements here and there, for almost 100 years. So during that time period, there was this interaction between Native Americans and the Spanish in particular, the French somewhat, and definitely the Irish. And so much later in the history of the South, we have also the influence of Africans into Southern folk medicine. So Southern folk medicine is a fusion of the folk medicines of different cultures, along with the humoral medicine of Galen, that grew and developed in this kind of landscape here of Southern Appalachians, deep South. And so that was the system that I learned. It's been around, I want to say, in the kind of form that I know it. It's been around about maybe 250 years of continual use. And obviously, its formative time period, its babyhood, maybe, was the 100 years, 150, 200 years prior to that. So it has a long history of use. It was originally passed on orally from, practitioner to apprentice. All right, it was also passed on in families. And so I took the opportunity, as that this is what I was taught, to codify it and put it in a form that anybody can use. It is so, so easy to learn to use. It's not hard to learn to use. It is a language you already know. You already know all the vocabulary words. If you know English, you already know all the vocabulary words. And so it's a very usable system. You can learn how to use it pretty quickly. The Southern blood types, which is what we're going to do part two tonight. I can't remember the date of part one, but in part one,
It was this year at least.
yeah, it
Okay.
was this year. I can't remember. It was like 3 months ago, maybe something. Anyway, something unique about Southern folk medicine is that we have what we call Southern blood types. And this is based on a person's constitution, along with um, definitions that have a mixed ancestry. Some of this came from Africa, some of it came from Europe. High blood, low blood. And another unique thing about Southern folk medicine is everything is in pairs of opposites. Particularly the blood types, but also constitutional descriptions are in pairs of opposites. So we have high blood, low blood, which we've gone over. We did thick blood, thin blood, which we went over in the class. We did good blood and bad blood. And we were going to start on fast blood, slow blood.
Yeah, okay.
That's
I
where
th
we got in my
one
notes.
one thing that makes this so simple, I wish I had a chart of this. You guys should write it down. But these types, most of them relate to can be associated with the cycle of the year, with the sap rising and falling in the tree. So in the summertime, the sap is high, it rises fast, and it's thinner, and it's cleaner. It's being used for food and stuff. And then, so that's high blood, fast blood, thin blood, and clean blood. And then in the winter, it stays low, doesn't go up there. There's not much going on up there. in the tree. It's slow if it moves at all. It's thicker. Now, I don't know anybody who actually went out there and measured whether it's thick or thin, but
Right.
how we
Right.
imagine it, it must be thicker. And
It
it's
is.
dirtier. It's dirtier because it's just sitting there.
It's slower.
Yeah. So it's like this just fits uh, intuition and life and nature so well that you don't really need to think about it. And I know that Michael Tierra once said, one of the Western herbalists who really does Chinese medicine a great deal. He said when he finally explained it to him, he said to Phyllis, "Well, I guess that's kind of like a baby energetics compared to Chinese medicine, but actually it shouldn't be compared because it's independent and it's really useful, and there is nothing in Ayurvedic or Chinese." And there really isn't anything in European, in Galenic medicine that's exactly the same too. Although, because it's fourfold, it's kind of similar, but it's not exactly the same. So it's unique to the South, and sometimes you'd find people in Ohio or Illinois or something adjacent. I mean, that's the Southern culture got up that far, but you don't find it in New England or Minnesota or